Hey everyone! In 2026, these 35 celebrities completely shocked the world with their mind-blowing plastic surgery transformations. The before and after comparisons are genuinely unreal. Some look 2 decades younger, while others totally changed their faces. If you want me to explore any more movies, TV shows, or Hollywood secrets, just comment right below. And I'm Ryan. Please like and subscribe to the channel to start exploring the main content of this video with me. Jessica Alves. Born in 1983 in Sao Paulo, Brazil, Rodrigo Alves grew up in a wealthy family. From a young age, Alves was fascinated by the Barbie dolls gifted by his grandfather. The inner child inside him loved wearing dresses and dreamed of a glamorous, sparkling world. However, his male body and a condition called gynecomastia, which caused breast tissue development due to hormonal imbalances, made Alves a target for severe bullying from peers, leaving him deeply shy and incredibly miserable throughout childhood. At 18, Rodrigo moved to London, where he studied public relations at the London College of Communication, while also working as a flight attendant. Hoping to build his confidence, he began his plastic surgery journey at just 17. Dozens of procedures aimed at creating the perfect masculine image, blonde hair, sculpted six-pack abs, and a sharply squared jaw transformed Rodrigo into the internationally known human Ken doll. In total, he spent more than £1 million on over 60 surgeries. But even behind the image of perfection, a deeper sadness continued to follow him. Jessica later revealed, "I always felt feminine. No matter how hard I tried to become masculine like Ken, the pain of feeling like Barbie on the inside never truly went away." In January 2020, after years of private struggle, Rodrigo courageously came out and embraced her true gender identity. She began hormone therapy, underwent gender reassignment surgery, and continued with feminization procedures, officially changing her name to Jessica Alves, the human Barbie. The journey was far from easy, especially with health complications linked to her previous surgeries. But for Jessica, it finally brought the genuine happiness she had been searching for. Today, Jessica lives in London, where she works as a television presenter and appears on shows such as This Morning and Hooked on the Look. She now embraces a healthier, more joyful life, surrounded by love, while sharing her story with positivity, confidence, and the hope of inspiring others. Jessica's story carries a powerful message. True happiness begins when we find the courage to accept ourselves and live authentically. Change should never be feared when it helps bring the soul and body into harmony. Her journey reminds us to listen to our inner voice, respect each person's path, and understand that only when we are truly ourselves can we truly shine. Justin Jedlicka, human Ken doll. Born on August 11, 1980, in Poughkeepsie, New York, Justin Jedlicka grew up in a low-income Slovak-American family in a small town in upstate New York. As the oldest of 4 children, he was far from what his parents expected. While others were drawn to sports or cars, Justin found himself fascinated by art, drawing, sculpting the human body, music, and performance. Television shows about glamorous lifestyles, along with icons like Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, and Andy Warhol, awakened in him a desire to create a flawless, dazzling version of himself. At 17, Justin secretly began researching plastic surgery in hopes of fixing his nose. Despite receiving little support from his family, he underwent his first procedure just 4 days after his 18th birthday. From that moment, his creative transformation began. Justin saw his body as a living sculpture, an unfinished work of art that he could continue shaping over time. He even designed his own custom implants and went on to undergo hundreds of procedures, including more than 190 surgeries by 2012 alone, with the number rising far beyond that in later years. His transformations included multiple nose jobs, chest, shoulder, bicep and calf implants, brow lifts, cheek and lip enhancements, buttock implants, and facelifts. Altogether, the cost surpassed $1 million. The media eventually named him the human Ken doll, a perfectly sculpted symbol of ideal masculinity. Today, Justin lives in Los Angeles, where he has built a public career as a reality TV personality, appearing on shows like Botched and Men of West Hollywood. Beyond television, he works as a plastic surgery consultant, custom implant designer, and influencer. He continues to see each procedure not simply as a physical change, but as a moment of release, self-expression, and personal evolution. Justin's story carries a powerful message. We are all artists of our own lives. His journey reminds us to be brave enough to listen to our inner voice, keep creating, and become the best version of ourselves in our own unique way. Never be afraid to stand out, because when you live fully with your own passion, vision, and purpose, you can discover true confidence and genuine happiness. Martina Big Malaika Kubwa. Born in 1988 in Rhineland-Palatinate, Germany, Martina Adam grew up with the golden blonde hair and fair, rosy complexion typical of a European girl. While working as a flight attendant, she met her future husband, pilot Michael Yerwin, and together they built a calm and comfortable life. In 2012, Martina decided to follow her passion for modeling and began her transformation journey through plastic surgery, starting with breast augmentation using saline implants. After more than 23 procedures, including an upgrade to even larger implants in 2019, her breasts became among the largest in the world, reaching an enormous 32S size. At first, Martina only wanted a more beautiful summer tan. But in January 2017, she began injecting melanotan, a substance that stimulates melanin, combined with high-powered tanning beds. The perma-tanning process permanently changed the color of her skin, eyebrows, eye color, and even the texture of her hair to a deep, dark tone. Martina felt deeply that she was becoming the exotic black Barbie version her heart had always longed for. She officially identified as a black woman and changed her name to Malaika Kubwa, meaning Big Angel in Swahili. In 2018, Martina and Michael traveled to Kenya, where they spent time living with the Maasai and Samburu communities and took part in a baptism ceremony that deeply shaped Martina's connection to African culture. Her husband also used melanotan to develop a darker, sun-tanned complexion. To this day, the couple continues that journey. Martina has spoken about planning more procedures, including nose widening and buttock enhancement, while dreaming of permanently moving to Africa, possibly Kenya or Namibia, to live closer to the culture she admires and to build bridges between different communities. Today, Malaika Kubwa, also known as Martina Big, has become an international television personality, frequently appearing on shows such as This Morning, Maury, and Botched. She lives with confidence and happiness, continuing to share her unusual transformation journey in a positive and self-assured way. Martina's story carries a powerful message. True happiness begins when we have the courage to listen to the deepest call of our hearts and dare to change in order to live as the person we truly feel ourselves to be. Her journey reminds us not to fear being different, because when we boldly follow our passion and personal identity, we can discover the most radiant version of ourselves. Carol Bryan. Carol Bryan. Born and raised in South Florida, Carol Bryan began working as a professional model at just 16 and later built a career in the beauty industry. With her radiant appearance and a happy family life alongside her husband and daughter, everything seemed full of promise. In her late 30s, Carol started using Botox regularly. Then, in 2009, at the age of 47, she was advised to receive dermal filler injections to slow the signs of aging and restore volume to her forehead and cheekbones. An unsafe cosmetic procedure changed Carol's life when an unqualified doctor mixed different fillers, including permanent silicone, and injected them into the wrong areas. The result was devastating. Her face became swollen, distorted, and infected, forcing her to hide from the world for years. Later, doctors at UCLA performed 7 complex reconstructive surgeries to remove the fillers and rebuild her facial structure, though she ultimately lost vision in one eye. After surviving years of physical and emotional pain, Carol turned her experience into a mission, founding an organization to support victims of cosmetic complications and becoming a powerful advocate for medical safety. Raji Nareen Singh. Born in 1967 in Brooklyn, New York, Raji Nareen Singh grew up in Philadelphia in a Trinidadian family. After graduating from art school and college, she worked at a jewelry store before later moving to Miami to serve with the Red Cross. In the late 1990s, Raji came out as a transgender woman and began her journey towards self-affirmation. In 2005, hoping to feminize her face, breasts, hips, and buttocks, she turned to O'Neill Ron Morris, a person within the local trans community who offered low-cost filler injections. Raji believed she was receiving safe silicone, but in reality, the substance was a dangerous mixture of cement, tire sealant, mineral oil, and industrial glue. Months later, it hardened beneath her skin, forming large lumps on her cheeks, lips, chin, and eyelids. Her face became severely distorted, and the media cruelly nicknamed her Cement Face. Overcome with shame, Raji withdrew from public life for years, leaving home only when absolutely necessary. Thanks to encouragement from friends, Raji eventually sought help from Dr. John J. Martin, who treated her free of charge for years using ultrasound therapy and anti-inflammatory medication. In 2015, she appeared on E's Botched, where Dr. Terry Dubrow and Dr. Paul Nassif performed 4 surgeries over 7 weeks. Most of the foreign substance was removed from her face, and Raji later returned to the show to address the remaining lumps. Step by step, she began rebuilding her confidence and finally found the strength to look in the mirror again. Today, Raji is a respected LGBTQ+ activist, singer, actress, and the author of the memoir Beyond Face Value: A Journey to True Beauty. Through talk shows, social media, and community workshops, she uses her story to warn others about the dangers of unlicensed cosmetic procedures, especially within the trans community. Raji often says, "I turned my pain into a message. If sharing my story can stop someone else from making the same mistake, then it was all worth it." Raji's story reminds us that true beauty is not found in flawless appearance or dangerous shortcuts. Her journey is a powerful warning to always choose licensed doctors, do careful research, and put long-term health above quick, cheap fixes. Most importantly, Raji shows that our worth is never defined by the way we look. Be brave enough to embrace who you are, learn from your experiences, and turn your pain into a light that can help others. Sahar Tabar. Born on June 16, 2001 in Tehran, Iran, Fatima Kishvan, better known on Instagram as Sahar Tabar, grew up with a strong desire to become famous. In 2017, at only 16 years old, she began posting a series of shocking photos online showing an extremely gaunt face, exaggeratedly large eyes, thick lips, and deeply hollowed cheeks. The media soon labeled her the zombie Angelina Jolie. Almost overnight, Sahar attracted hundreds of thousands of followers, eventually reaching more than 486,000. Many viewers believed she had undergone as many as 50 plastic surgeries and followed an extreme diet to completely transform her appearance. In reality, Sahar later made it clear that most of those images were simply created through professional makeup filters, Photoshop, and editing tricks. She had only undergone a few safe cosmetic procedures, including rhinoplasty, liposuction, and lip fillers. "I just wanted to become famous. Cyberspace is much easier than becoming an actress," she once shared in an interview. Although her mother often advised her to stop, Sahar continued at the time because of the attention, likes, and online fame. In 2019, Sahar was arrested over her social media posts and faced charges connected to content said to influence young people. She was sentenced to 10 years in prison, but after about 14 months, she was released on bail. During that difficult period, Sahar had time to reflect deeply on the path she had taken. In 2022, after her release, she appeared on television with her real face, revealing a young, natural, and beautiful woman behind the shocking online image. Sahar openly shared, "What you saw on Instagram is not me. I have changed and no longer want to be connected to my old image." Today, Sahar still maintains her social media accounts, but her focus has shifted toward more authentic and grounded content. She often speaks about wanting to live in a more positive way, learn from her past mistakes, and move forward as her real self, rather than the shocking image that once made her famous. Sahar's journey reminds us that chasing online fame can sometimes make us lose sight of who we truly are. Her story teaches us to listen to the advice of family, protect our health, and choose authenticity over temporary attention. True beauty does not come from changing ourselves just to gain likes. It comes from accepting, loving, and respecting who we are. Never let social media pressure define your worth. Instead, choose a path that helps you grow in a healthy, lasting, and genuinely happy way. Pixie Fox. Born in 1990 in Sweden under the real name Martina Bartholf Pixie, Fox grew up as a tomboy and later worked as an electrician. From a young age, she was deeply fascinated by Disney-inspired cartoon figures like Jessica Rabbit and Tinkerbell, characters known for their impossibly tiny waists and dramatic, exaggerated curves. Pixie often felt that her natural body did not match the fantasy image she carried in her mind, as if she belonged more to the world of mythical creatures than to ordinary human reality. In 2010, Pixie moved to the United States and began the transformation journey that would make her widely known. Her first cosmetic procedures included rhinoplasty, eyelid surgery, and breast augmentation. Over time, she underwent a long series of operations in pursuit of becoming a living cartoon, including dramatic facial alterations such as a more pointed nose, sharper jawline, hollowed cheeks, and elf-like ears. She also had multiple breast augmentations, liposuction, a Brazilian butt lift, eye color changes, and even eyelash transplants using hair from other parts of her body. In 2015, in Carmel, Indiana, Pixie became one of the first people to undergo the removal of 6 ribs, 3 on each side, in an effort to shrink her waist to approximately 16 inches. Altogether, her transformation cost more than $120,000 and involved over 100 procedures. Pixie proudly describes herself as a pioneer in the beauty industry, someone willing to push boundaries in pursuit of her own extraordinary vision. Pixie appeared several times on Botched, where doctors repeatedly warned her to stop because of the growing medical risks. Her passion pushed her transformation to the extreme, but it also brought serious complications. After one surgery, she developed a blood clot that caused her to fall into a coma for more than a week. Fortunately, her family and close friends stepped in and brought her back to Sweden, where Pixie slowly began her long road to recovery. Today, Pixie lives a quieter and more peaceful life in her hometown, surrounded by her family and beloved pets. She now focuses on rebuilding both her physical and mental health after years of extreme transformation. Pixie still maintains her Instagram accounts @PixieFox and @PixieMartinaFox, where she continues to share parts of her journey while pursuing her dream of becoming an actress in a safer and more balanced way. Passion can inspire us to chase our dreams and express who we truly are, but health must always remain the most important foundation. No appearance is worth sacrificing your safety or well-being. Pixie's journey reminds us to listen to our bodies, choose reputable and licensed doctors, do careful research, and understand that real value comes from balance, happiness, and self-love from within. Wow! Did these 35 plastic surgery stories surprise you? From subtle changes to complete transformations, 2026 has truly been filled with unforgettable drama. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to hit like, comment on the person or detail that impressed you the most, and subscribe so you do not miss more hidden Hollywood secrets. I'm Ryan, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.